Hello and welcome to week 3 of the FPL Q3. I'm joined today by Ryan, Alex, and Teddy. We're going to jump right into it. The first battle, Teddy versus Alex. We're going to throw it to Ryan.
What's up, guys? So turn 1, Rotom Heat Volt switches out into Seismitoad, who takes a Power Herb Meteor Beam from Clefable. That is some crazy heat. I don't think we've seen that in the league before. Meteor Beam is a new move, but not usually seen on anything other than Omastar and Nihilego. So now Teddy gets up rocks, while Alex's Clefable fires off a +1 Grass Knot to obliterate the Seismitoad. So Rotom comes back into Volt Switch, but that's an easy switch into Chomp from Alex. Teddy's dreams of crippling this Chomp are dashed when Garchomp subs in its face, as Teddy clicks Will-O-Wisp with the confidence of 1,000 trainers. Rotom gets right out of there, and Gardevoir comes in as Garchomp powers up to +2. Gardevoir does break the sub, but gets destroyed in the process. So Laddie comes in for the revenge kill, which forces Alex to bring in Klefki. That takes a good chunk from Psychic. But then it does what it does best and spreads some of that yellow magic. He gets the defog off as Arcanine teleports into Ferrothorn, which sees some more of that magic mustard. Poltergeist comes in, but gets spooked by the Leech Seed. When this knockoff connects with Zapdos, it reveals Choice Specs, another spicy addition to Alex's squad of habaneros. If it wasn't spicy enough, the Specs Zapdos had the physical move U-turn and catches Teddy's switch into Rotom. Now Daddy Chomp comes back in to claim his kill. Teddy graciously obliges and brings his own dragon in, hoping they can all get along. Turns out Garchomp thinks they can all get dead. Now Arcanine comes in, hoping the Intimidate can help scare the Landshark. But it seems Teddy forgot about Sub. And then he forgot about Swords Dance. At least Ferrothorn does its job and eats up the Earthquake, resulting in the double down to the Life Orb recoil. After this, it's all over for Teddy. Alex easily counters Teddy's remaining fire types with his Melodic and Zapdos.
So, Teddy did not bring Toxapex, which is why Zapdos was here, so that it could kill Toxapex. But I was also worried about Seismitoad always switching in on a Zapdos T-Bolt, and so I made sure to throw U-turn on there so that it could get out of there in case of a Seismitoad switch.
Once Poltergeist comes out, it's GG. Hex kills Teddy's Spadef Arcanine with ease thanks to that yellow magic from earlier. It's kitchenware versus kitchen appliance, and Rotom can't do a damn thing. After a Shell Smash, that's a wrap. +4 victory for Alex.
I feel like people sleep on Poltergeist because they're like, Dark type can stop that thing. But what if you don't bring a Dark type? Then you don't have anything that can stop that thing.
Alright folks, it's time for Trainer's Corner. Teddy, seems like you got a bit bodied here. What do you think you could have done better in your team building to have prevented this?
I gotta start recognizing that Pokemon can substitute. That's where it all really went wrong. Meteor Beam, took me off balance, but I could have still, it wasn't real. That didn't fuck me or anything. That just kind of scared me. But the substitute, as soon as that happened, I was immediately just, 5 steps behind and trying to catch up, and I couldn't get there. So, yeah, substitute. That's it's a move. I gotta start running taunt. I gotta start figuring it out, recognizing that Pokemon will substitute on me, and yeah, it's a scary move.
So Alex, what would you say were the keys to victory? No pun intended.
Well, the real key here was actually my pickup this week, Poltergeist. Poltergeist with Hex just did a ton of work to his team. He didn't have a lot to resist it after a Shell Smash. And so really the rest of my team building and all the heat was sort of freed up by the fact that, I just needed to get some damage, just needed to kind of do a little chip damage, and particularly with Klefki, get some statuses going around so that Hex could just do that little bit more. And once that was set up, really Poltergeist could come in and sweep on anything, and that's basically what it did at the very end. but some of that heat was able to get some kills before the end, which was kind of fun. Some innovative, spicy habanero style heat in there.
We're moving on to the next battle, Ryan versus Cam. The tiebreak for first place in the standings, and at 47 turns, the longest battle of the week. It did not disappoint. Let's get into it. Turn 1 sees Excadrill against Incineroar. Excadrill is at -1 because of Intimidate, and so it switches out into Gyarados for an Intimidate of its own. Incineroar knocks off the Water Dragon's leftovers. Incineroar switches out into Cresselia, who catches the incoming Toxic, which is not what Cresselia likes to see. Does not like to be toxic unless it has some way to recover or to heal that Toxic. Chansey comes in and teleports as the Cresselia switches. Here we have Excadrill v Incineroar once again, only this time, no Intimidate. Ryan goes for the easy Earthquake knockout, but Incineroar lives and clicks Flare Blitz to OHKO the Excadrill. After recoil, it's a double down. All right, Tapu Lele against Nidoking. An easy switch in back into the Psychic Sponge Cresselia. Eats a Psyshock for breakfast and sets up a Trick Room on the incoming Chansey. The Trick Room allowing the slower Pokemon now to move first. The slow Ice Horse Glastrier comes in. Chansey teleports out into Gyarados. It is clear right now that this Gyarados is fully defensive, and it's checking this Glastrier more than I think Cam expected. Gyarados gets a Toxic off and continues to stall out the Trick Room. Cresselia once again gets switched in, and so does the Chansey. Surprise, surprise. These two fat things coming in again. The Trick Room wears off, and Cress heals itself with Moonlight. Nidoking switches in to take the Seismic Toss, and then doubles into Blissey as Chansey teleports into the Tapu Lele. Lele goes for the Psyshock, which is simply put not doing enough. It only does 48, which is such a good number for Blissey, which means it can soft boil up all the damage. Blissey very calmly gets up its rocks, which is a huge issue for this Gyarados and Kyurem in particular. It's not looking good for Ryan right here. Alakazam comes in, but doesn't seem to do any better. Blissey reveals the Seismic Toss, and it looks like this Blissey is going to be unbreakable for Ryan. Ryan goes out into Chansey to at least heal up, maybe stall the Blissey out, but he switches out into Glastrier. Lele comes in to set up the terrain for Alakazam and gets lucky with only 3 Icicle Spears hitting. It does 77%, but it's better than being dead. Lele Psyshocks, but surprise, surprise, in comes Cresselia. Eats it up like it's a chicken snack wrap. Cress sets up the Trick Room. Lele stays in, just trying to get the Toxic damage up and stall out some Trick Room turns. Once Lele is taken out, Alakazam comes in and just tries to Shadow Ball Cresselia. But good thing he's got a Blissey. Now here lies the turning point of the match. Blissey wishes as Alakazam Focus Blast. A clear misplay as it doesn't have Protect as well. And it switches out at 39%, which is in range of Alakazam's Psyshock. Cress comes in on Blissey's wish to heal up to full and doubles into Glastrier, who takes 30. Then Cress comes back in to take the Focus Blast. On the next turn, though, the fortunes favor Ryan as Alakazam gets the Spadef drop with the Shadow Ball. Predicting the switch to Blissey, Ryan Psyshocks, and the Blissey goes down. Cheers are heard throughout the lands as something killed a Blissey. The tides have officially turned. Regieleki comes in and reveals screens. Chansey just stays in for as long as it can to stall them out. Glastrier comes in, hits close combat, and now at -2 defense with the Toxic on it, it was looking bad. Gyarados comes in and protects for some more Toxic chip. He gets a huge waterfall off that results in a flinch. It's hard to say how much the flinch mattered because Glastrier, without the Trick Room, is pretty easy to revenge kill. Nothing else can touch Chansey on Cam's team. Cam ends the battle with style by exploding with the Regieleki, and it's a +1 victory for Ryan. All right, moving on to Trainer's Corner. We have Ryan here. Now, Ryan, it looked like at one point in this battle, you were going to lose this. What do you think turned this around for you?
Yeah, this was definitely a tough one. Sacking Excadrill turn 1 or 4, whenever it happened, turned out to be more of an obstacle than I thought. Actually, in team building, I had prepared Life Orb Alakazam, which does a lot more damage to Blissey. And so I was kind of like, it'll be fine if I don't have my Excadrill. I'll be able to deal with it. But right before I went into this battle, I was worried about Dragon Dance Salamence getting out of hand. And so I put Sash on the Zam and kind of forgot. And so all of a sudden, my Psyshocks are only doing 47. I'm like, oh, screw, I'm not going to be able to kill this Blissey. And then I think, in my personal opinion, it was a bit of a misplay there with the Wish, as we talked about earlier, and I was able to eliminate that, so was able to kind of pull this one off. So, it was definitely a tough fought win here, but I was able to pull it off in the end. Next up, the sweeps of the week. If you're here to see some epically one-sided battles, you are in luck. First up, Jackson v. Thomas. This battle was an absolute masterclass from a Mon that had already proved its worth time and time again, but came up short on the scoreboard. Not so here, as Slowbro was able to teleport into Rillaboom on turn 2, and it was Goodnight Irene for the unsuspecting Thomas. The combination of Sub, Bulk Up, Grassy Glide, and Darkest Lariat was too much for the opposing team, and Jackson cruised to an easy 6-0, his first win of the season.
I was looking at Thomas's team, and I was like, I wasn't even going to bring Rillaboom because Corviknight is just a threat. And I was like, there's no way I can break through Corviknight. And then I actually remembered an MV video, Lord MV, shout out, from way back when Gen 8 was first announced. And he had this really crazy drum beating sub bulk up, fully Fizz Def Rillaboom. And I just remember the video because it's like he sets up on Corviknight, because the idea is Darkest Lariat ignores all defense raises that an opponent might have. And so the idea was to bait in the Corviknight with the Rillaboom. And if it starts bulking up alongside me, then I win that exchange because I ignore its bulk up. I was really scared that Volcarona would come in, or that he would bring Volcarona, because the Bug Buzz goes right through my sub, because it's a sound move, and it just OHKOs Rillaboom. But as soon as I saw it wasn't there, I was like, man, Rillaboom could do this. And then as soon as he started Bolt Beaking, I was like, Rillaboom is gonna do this. The Hawlucha comes in, and it does 9%, and it's just like, man, GG. All I wanted was for Rillaboom to get kills because it's my MVP, and it got 6 kills and 0 deaths. I am stoked for this to be my first win, and I am extremely stoked for Rillaboom to have gotten all those kills. It has 14 out of 16 of the kills that I've gotten this season.
All right, folks, time for Trainer's Corner. Jackson, talk to us about this battle. What were your thoughts?
Rillaboom is a god. I feel like I lose to Thomas. I feel like I lose to Thomas in the league. I think my record, for some reason, can never predict that guy. But Rillaboom is a god. And you should bow down. Oh, I will say, I forgot my nicknames. There are only 2 Pokemon. I had nicknames, but they didn't get saved. So I will just say the Slowbro was supposed to be named Pink McDink. And the Rillaboom, because it was the Heat bulk up set, was supposed to be Puff Puff Smash. Right, and now, for the second devastating sweep of the week, it is Nico V Rowan. So the battle opens with Scolipede versus Komao, and right away, he switches Hatterene, which asserts its dominance in the classic stun of bouncing back rocks. Hatterene sets up 1 Calm Mind, and that is the game. You know, the Mew just doesn't do enough. The damage all gets slurped back with Draining Kiss. The Sylveon, you'd think Sylveon's Hyper Voice is going to do a lot, but it doesn't. It gets another Calm Mind up, and then slurp all the health right back. Swampert comes in, tries to flip turn. Doesn't really do a lot of damage. There's the Giga Drain. It's unfortunate that Rowan just didn't really have anything to hit it. The Skarmory, which kind of checks it. If it just had Iron Head, it could have done enough chip. If he had Poison Jab on the Komao, it could have maybe done enough chip. He just didn't have the answers. Dragapult gets killed on the switch in. Am I sexual? Yeah.
It's no better than a Ring of Keys, but they didn't have to try and make it, I don't know, sexy or something. What is going on there? They gave it hips? What? Stop.
All right, here are the standings for our third week. Ryan at the top with 3-0. Can anybody beat this man? Can dropping down to number 2 with 2-1, but with the highest differential at +9. Nico coming into third after that beautiful win. 2-1 +5. Alex 2-1 +1, staying nice and ahead of the pack. Jackson finally getting a win. I'm happy. 1-2. I'll take it. Teddy drops down to 1-2. Thomas and Teddy neck and neck. And then right at the bottom we have Rowan. We're going to have to see some big plays from Rowan if he wants to get at the last spot elimination seat. All right, and now let's head to Teddy with the power rankings for this week.
All right. You know what it is. In my opinion, the best 4 trainers this week. We're going to start a quick recap of last week's power rankings. Coming in at number 4, Thomas. Number 3, Nico. Number 2, Ryan. Number 1, Cam. We got a couple of big changes this week, so let's just get right into it. Number 4. Before I say any of that, I gotta preface this by saying there were all big wins this week, and on any other week, any one of these people could be number 1. But it all happened on this week, so let's go in. Coming at number 4, Ryan drops down to number 4. Big win. He beat the guy who was previously number 1, but it wasn't as heaty as the other one, so we had to put him there. Coming at number 3, once again, could have been number 1 last week. But this week's on MP number 3 is Alex. Great heat. Every mod had something weird. It was great. I got bodied. You hate to see it, but it is what it is. Alex, number 3. Number 2 is Nico. Hatterene. No one knows what it is. It just ran through Rowan. It set up and Rowan had nothing to do about it. It is what it is. Big old sweep. Nico number 2. And then number 1, Jackson, Rillaboom. It did the thing and it beat the drum, man. And Thomas couldn't stop it. So yeah.
And here with our favorite nicknames of the week is Ryan.
What's up, guys? We're back with the nicknames. I've got a top 3 for you and a shout out, so here they are. Coming in at 3rd place, I'm liking Skarmanitan, Rowan Skarmory. Always like that combo name. Of course, not as effective as Darmanitan in its battle, unfortunately, but what can you do? Coming in at number 2, I'm liking Half-Baked, Teddy Seismitoad. Just an unending wealth of stoned-related humor on the Seismitoad, which, gotta love it. And coming in at number 1, I've got Miss Frizzle, Alex's Zapdos. I mean, does that not look like a Miss Frizzle to you? I challenge you to defy that. I've got a shout out here to Cam's Teletubbies. We love a good theme, folks. If you can get, this one wasn't a full 6, but I'll take it. And as you can tell, obviously a big fan of the children's cartoons. So throw it right back, folks. You know I love that. And looking forward to hearing your spicy nicknames in the future.
Zapdos not only looks like Miss Frizzle, but it also kind of looks like the school bus. Like, if the school bus like turned into a Pokemon, it would be like Zapdos.
We're playing Pokemon, kids.
Well, I mean, that'd be 2 of my favorite shows growing up, fusing into one.
That's right.
Anyway, that wraps up our podcast for this week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Leave your comments. Let's try to get this to 10,000 likes. And, we hope you drive safe out there.